Have you ever looked at a ceramic pot? Like, really gazed at the intricate details? Each curve, each mark, is a decision by the potter. With so many details, a potter can spend hours, days, even weeks on a single pot. Now, molding a pot is a slow process because most of the time, a potter will use very small, very slow movements to shape the clay, allowing the clay to move within his hands. Other times, a potter will use very fast, very large movements to shape the clay, sometimes even removing pieces of the clay entirely. See, a potter knows his clay so well. He knows the exact movements to make to shape the pot that he desires. Sometimes, after hours of work on a pot, the clay becomes too moist, too weak to continue molding it without destroying its form. So the potter will allow the clay to rest, to dry out a little, before continuing to work on it. See, we are like this clay. God is molding our lives to look like Him. The prophet Isaiah uses this metaphor. He says, "You, O Lord, are our Father. We are the clay, and you are the potter. We are all the work of your hand." This is a great metaphor because God is continually molding our lives. See, He is molding us right now, and He always has been molding us since before we were born. We look at the dedication the potter has for their clay. Hours, days, weeks. No. God has been working on us for years. Most of the time, God uses small movements to shape our life. A stop sign to give us patience, or a delicious meal to give us gratitude. Other times, He uses big movements, the loss of a friend or a difficult conversation with a loved one. These movements, though painful, shape our lives into His image. God knows us so well, so intimately. He knows exactly when He can make big movements in our lives. His timing is sure. He even knows when we can't take any more change, when we have to rest and regain our strength. And He lets us rest. He lets us rest in His presence, in His strength, so that we may regain our own, and He can continue molding our lives into His image. God is working on everyone, regardless of where they are in life. That's why it's important to have people around you in your community who can point out God's movement in your life. The Point Ministry on the University of Houston campus is a gathering of students for this reason. They meet together and have fellowship, they have Bible study, they have delicious food, and they meet together to point out God's movement to one another and to the whole campus. How is God molding your life? Let's discover together at The Point. The Point, molding lives into His image.